Hello, Olivio and I are very happy to present a use case of automatic segmentation at INA, especially on the daily program schedule of News TV. This is the channel on which we started to work to implement this project. And from this segmentation, we will explain how we get automatically generated cataloging metadata. And as it was implemented a few months ago, we will be able to say a few words about how the catalogers and documentalists went through this new project. I just would like to specify that at INA we have, I think it is specific to INA, we have catalogers who are the people doing the first ingest of metadata, the cataloging metadata, and then we have the documentalist, archivist, doing the description of the content and the indexation. It is two different teams. So this is the program, the next 30 minutes. Just a few words about INA's mission for those who don't know INA. It was created in 1975 from the old ORTF, which was the official public television in 1974, and INA was given the charge of archiving the public TV and radio programs. So this is what we started to do in 1974, and we added also activities like professional training and R&D activities, which are still, we still run these activities, and also audiovisual production and innovation programs. What is specific to INA is that we ingest different media. Of course, the radio and TV program are the biggest part of our collection, but we also have photos and written documents, and also web archive. It is a website and account and Twitter messages that are archived in the context of legal deposit. This collection, specifically on TV and radio, is organized according to two laws. The oldest one is the one from 1986, which concerns the public and the public TV and radio program. It was we can 1 year after the broadcast, it becomes INA's property, and then we can have we can use and sell this archive to audiovisual professional people. So, and we also share some of this content with the general public. So we have a dedicated website for that, ina.fr, on which you can go, and also other platform. So this was the first law, and it concerned the 2 million hours of TV and radio program. And the other, in 1992, the legislator decided that we would have a legal deposit for TV and radio in France. So we started archiving more channel, private. We were archiving public channels so far. We started archiving private channels, and then it increased considerably our collection. As you can see, today we have about 23 million hours on this collection, and it is increasing of 1.5 million every year. So this is quite a challenge to have description and cataloging on all these programs. And what is specific in this case of the legal deposit is that we archive the programs, but we also archive the program scheduling, which means that as this collection, the legal deposit one, is meant to be used by researchers and for academic researches and studies, it allows researchers to work on the evolution of the programmation in the channels. So it is not only the program, but all the schedules, which is important in the context of the project we're going to present. Recently, all these collections were in different databases and silos, like it was already mentioned yesterday and today in some of in our collection. And we realized a data lake these last years. So we merged all the media and all the metadata in one single environment to make it simple, because it is not really like that in the process, but it is meant to facilitate the exploration and the use and reuse of all the metadata for all the media we are archiving. To understand what the project, to put a few words on the context of the project, the system of the cataloging, the ingest today of cataloging metadata is this one. We are ingesting metadata that come from different providers, because we, as you can imagine, we have archiving 180 channels, so we can do it manually. So we buy metadata from providers, which are, it can be press agencies, it can be the broadcasters themselves, it can be also audience measurement agency, and it's also coming from it is also made manually by some of the documentalists from broadcasters or at INA. So we ingest metadata, we combine them, we check them, we align them. It is a lot of work to do this job, and it is also well, it needs many people to do that. So there are also a difference between of quality between the providers. Sometimes information is missing, and sometimes it is not correct. So we have to do quality control and corrections. And at the end of it is a process very heavy for people doing that, mainly the catalogers. So we thought that as we are capturing I don't know if it is the right word, but we have the video stream at INA available. We thought that perhaps it would be possible to produce our own cataloging metadata, and more specifically on news channel, because on this channel there is no activity, no human activity at all. So to have a more reliable, more consistent information and cataloging data, we started to do that on this type of channel. So so we decided to launch a project of automatic segmentation of the daily program schedule on these channels, and from then to export, to ingest the metadata coming from this segmentation. All this was made available in the context of the new system, of the new information system, as it was more robust and more adapted to ingest a massive amount of metadata. So the change from the old databases to the lake was made it easier to realize. And now Olivio is going to explain to you how it works technically.
Hi everybody. So for to go on with this presentation, I will just focus in the output, which is the results we had so far, and we go on with explaining how we just make all these things. So just at the beginning, as Anne said, we are in a more like in a segmentation process. So we have to reconstruct the program scheduling, and that was also a very important first steps, because we cannot really describe the contents if we haven't contextualized the information we just extract. So far, we haven't really started the describing part. We just have a few things I will show you. So in AI, we can have a lot of tools, a lot of panels. We try to experiment a lot of them. We don't use all of these things, but the idea is just we try to identify which kind and which sort of tools we can use to fit our needs. So we have like pictures, sounds, and text technologies, and we just pick up the things we need. So we just try to build a cross-tool system. The main idea is if we have a use case, if we have a business need, we can try to but we can address the needs very quickly and try to set a workflow just to comply the needs. The idea is to be really responsive and have a really quick capacity of making workflows and pipelines, and to experiment. If it's not okay, we can quickly change the solutions we try. So then something very important is that all the work we made, all of the output is just conditioned by references that are made by our catalogers and data specialists, content specialists. So I will just start with the results we have so far. So I will just give you like the main structure we try to analyze. So the first step in the news channels was to find the non-programs contents, because we don't have interest to extract things in this, so we have to just put it away. So I won't tell you now how we do the things, just the result, and after I will go for the solution we deploy. So once we get the non-programs informations with the time codes and things, we just try to find what is between each non-programs, the programs. And we will use a lot of tools, not a lot, but a few tools like facial recognitions and things like that. The idea is once we just find the time codes, we can merge every part of the programs to just find the whole programs. So in this step, we just get the time codes and the program's title. Once we get this, so here we can just, it's more like an experiment interface. We don't have a really user-friendly interface, but it's one of our next step. So here you can see we have the time codes and the program's titles. After this step, you can just notice there's some blanks on the schedule. And all the idea of the work is just to automate the detection of really basic things, scheduled things, and things that don't change. And if something is moving on the schedule, we have a blank because we try to anticipate, because we have references. So it's not very probabilistic models, but more like anticipating models. So if we didn't have the information or the results were not good enough, we have some blanks, and we have to fill the blanks after. Sometimes we can try to have further information, but not very reliable. So it's just like hints for our catalogers to fill more easily, because they can have a more precise view of what that means. Here in this example, we have a first step, like the orange below segments is like a proposition between two things. And after, another thing, if we can, it tries to separate automatically the different parts of two programs. The blank here comes from the fact we don't have non-programs that can separate the programs. So as we just found out the work in this structure, like non-programs, if we don't have the non-programs, we have nothing. So we try to compensate this fact. So once we reach this step, we have the basic segmentation of the program scheduling, and we can try to have further information. So we try to, we just based on visual technologies to identify the weathercast. So it's hard to see, but all the small deep blue segments. After this, we can try to find some specific contents like breaking news. Most of the blanks we have are just made by breaking news. So in the same manner, we just lean on the graphics, the red graphics, just to detect this kind of contents. And we also have some facial recognitions. But for now, as we are working on a experiment user interface, we don't have the name that appears, just the identifiers. So it's not really helpful for now for the catalogers, because they have to check who is this person. But it's one on the next step we will implement. And finally, we can also have some optical character recognition results. So it's more like the description parts of the project. But so far, we didn't use it. We just extract the information. But it could give us some information about the topics they are talking about in this particular moment. So it's just an example with the author results. We also use Easy Author, and we are quite satisfying with this. And we try a lot of author tools, but not really satisfying or just really expensive. And Easy Author was quite a good thing to use. So now I will just give you a brief overview of how we made this. So the idea is that we are not, we start from, we have to have an idea of the patterns and all the graphics and how you can just have an idea of how the news channels TV is structured. So as I said, the first step is to identify the non-programs sequences, the segments. So we just based on very simply tools. It's not machine learning or something, but something we call the matching template. So very basic tools, but very important for us and very efficient for the needs we want to fill. Once we get the separation of the non-programs and programs segments, we try to identify the programs. So we use image classification in two ways. The first is to identify the specific program graphics, like the visual identity of this graphics, if we can, because sometimes a lot of programs can share the same graphics, but most of the programs are kind of really personal identity. But we can also use image classification to just identify the opening credits. Sometimes it's a good hint to know what is broadcast. After this, we can lean on the facial recognition, because most of the programs are dedicated presenters. So we just, in the reference file, just try to list the potential presenters of the content of the program. After this, we can use Author to have some extraction, some topic extraction, but we can also try, as it was presented before by Marie-Jean, to take the lower third party that include the names of the presenters. It's kind of useless if we recognize the presenters, but sometimes it's someone we don't know, so it could be a hint for the catalogers just to complete the reference. And just to say, it's not the final step, that's the first step. The very first step is just have a very understanding of how they just structure the program schedules. So it's like for our catalogers, something like back to basics, because it's lean on the capacity of understand how you made patterns with audiovisual features, characteristics, sorry. So all of these steps are entered in the pipeline. And as I said before, the final steps is just to merge the data depending on a lot of conditions that are set by our catalogers. So this reference file basically is a record, so all the things we need to identify a given program. And it is made by our catalogers because they know the contents. As the same case for the interface, we don't have a very user-friendly interface. So for now, we just use a form, Excel form, because the reference file is in JSON, but we don't want our catalogers to just have to learn the JSON structure. So just use basic formula, it's okay. They're quite satisfying, but for the future, we aim to have a fully interface which allows to do the program reference files, to manage this, and also have a good view of the results. Something that helps us to validate and things like that. So now we can just try to have a prediction about what are the new skills, new roles, at least for us. The first thing I have to notice that when we first try to experiment on those kind of projects, like AI-based tools project, we have a problem to have collaboration, efficient collaboration, because there were some gaps, like as it was said before and yesterday, between the two main sides on this work. So as an entrepreneur, when I start to work for the ENR, it was as a go-between, and so I have like a more librarian profile, but my job is try to fill the gap and translate what they can understand, and so to make people work together. And I think they're both cool people with I don't have any preference, you know. So, the weaknesses of the ones are the strengths of the other ones, so they have really to collaborate. So we try to separate 4 main activities and road domains. And I will just give an example for each, but I won't talk too much about it. So the first was the media analysis process. And as I said before, it's like a back to basics, because it's not something very new, but you have to learn again to do it with another things in mind, because before, most of our catalogers try to understand what they were talking about on TV, because that was how they can segment the contents. And now, more and more, we try to understand how they made it. So what are the patterns, how they just give information about this is a weathercast or this is a breaking news, how they made it. So it's more technical than before, but more technical than before, but still this is something like is part of the essence of our catalogers' work. So the The second thing is the training model process, because most of the tools I just showed you before are some machine learning tools, supervised machine learning tools. So I won't explain you how it works, but you know that you have to label data and you have to make your own classifications. And for this, okay, something strange. Okay. So for this, we have in-house solutions for the facial recognition. We call Trombinos. And it's something that since, I think it's implemented since maybe a year now. Yes. So we have all the interface to just manage these kinds of data. And we have other user interface that we subscribe because we don't have the resources to make our own. But it was something very important to have user interface because it's something that just allows catalogers to have a grasp on this kind of technologies. Without it, they just like they are out the process. So it's something that we really want to have, even if we cannot have an in-house solution for now. We just okay to subscribe everything that just can help the change management and the involving of the catalogers. Third, we have the validating and monitoring process, because as you know, the results are now aren't always very good, and so we need to have something that just monitoring the data, because sometimes we just have some bug crashes, and we don't have to lose too much time. So we need to have some better things to just monitoring, have an overview about what is in our systems and what can wrong. So once again, it's not very user-friendly things, and we still have to make a more automated evaluating process. Just to complete this thing, how the results I showed you before are completed by our catalogers, and they validate the data. And finally, something that we call the resourcing process with too much S. So far, as we don't have the data, the metadata really early, we try to anticipate as much as possible. So we just have a lot of work. And the fact is now we can be more responsive. We can just have those metadata about three days after they were broadcasted. So this is a shift in the logic and the strategy we have now. We don't have much very anticipated watch, but we just try to react based on the results we automated. So the idea is, if you have a blank, you can quickly just complete your references. So we don't anticipate, but we react more quickly than before. And that's all for my part. And so, Anna, please, you can continue.
Well, we're running out of time.
Oh.
I'm sure we can. How long is it? Well, we can take a few minutes. Yeah. Do it fast.
Just a few words on the challenges we have to cope now. So it is mainly on. I'm going backwards. Yes, what we intend to do now is to extend the project on other channel. So if we can see that it works, then we can try on other channel having the similar approach in their scheduling. And also we are going to try, we are testing at the moment on radio programs, but on radio programs there is no image to recognize the presenter. So we have started to implement a voice dictionary in our database, but it takes time it is just starting at the moment. On the technical part, then we will have challenge over the storage and the energy. It comes back to the issues we discussed yesterday, but I wanted to insist on the fact that the storage is just a small part of the problem. The biggest part of the problem in sustainability and in energy consumption is the processing. And it is something we are thinking about it today at INA, but we have not yet taken decisions. And we also have to have a workflow robust enough to integrate all this metadata and make sure that there is no interruption in the production of cataloging metadata. And to facilitate this, we need also monitoring tools to check and react rapidly when there is something going wrong, or if we need to adapt the model already defined. Sometimes we will have to, many times we will have to update and do it. We have to react quite quickly. And the challenges on the human side is to make people come to these technologies and be involved in that sort of project. So as you understood, the interface is not very friendly at the moment, but what we did is that we involved people who had curiosity, who had interest in the AI technologies, even if they are doing a very sometimes a repetitive work. They are curious on doing something. So we asked them who would be interested in working on such a project, and we chose the ones who really wanted to do it, hoping that they were going to take with them after all their colleagues, perhaps not all of them, but hoping that they will encourage their colleagues to be involved in other projects to come. So this is a challenge, as most of you said in your presentation as well. And yes, I just wanted to insist on the role of Olivio, because as he said, he's a coordinator and he is the one facilitating the discussion between professionals, between archivists, between managers and the engineers. And this is particularly very interesting to have that sort of facilitator in between these different teams involved in the project. Thank you, and sorry again for being late.